A very good evening, everybody. Welcome in Zandvoort for the Dutch GP round number 7 in the VGPR Formula Championship here in Tier 2. We are in the Netherlands, Zandvoort, a little bit off the coast, and of course close to Amsterdam, the main capital of the Netherlands. Few people already in the stream. Welcome, everybody. We're about to go for qualifying. 3 people who did not show up, so we are running with 13. Once joining in qualifying, that will be Gele Eend with his debut in, of course, the previous race in Silverstone. That was last week. With Hellraiser dominating at the weekend, and Hellraiser made the move to McLaren. I'm gonna see the best of the best. Leclerc also with a return to the track after not racing, after becoming a reserve after Melbourne, decided he will try one more time. And Gele Eend has joined and will pick the Williams car, I hope, so he can drive in Zandvoort. Somewhat tricky track, of course. Very fast corners, only 2 so slow speed corners, as being turn 3, turn 10. So Leclerc goes to this beautiful section. It's a lovely track to drive. One of my favorites to drive. Of course, it's my home GP. And for our fans, home GP as well. We don't have that many Dutch people in Tier 1. Tier 2. I'm sorry. We have right now 2 on the grid. They're driving here. So let's hope. We have last season it was Joppe won. Ooh, Leclerc going wide. On the dangerous as Leclerc will start his first flying lap. Zandvoort, of course, a very short track. Lap times will be around the 108, 109 for this steer. We see Chalster has spun on his outlap actually. And this is going on the wall of shame, Charlie boy. That your championship leader has spun on his outlap. And I hope he didn't have any front wing damage, but as the McLaren coming through, I think that might be CJ. That is CJ. CJ is not on the lap, but Chalster has not damaged his front wing, but it's even lagging a little bit. But back to Leclerc's going wide over the curbs, and yeah, I think that lap Leclerc will be done. So, I think we have Ruben on the mediums, of course. I'm gonna look who's on the lap. See Leclerc, of course. Nart is probably one of the first. Maybe one of the assets. No, it will be Nart. Or maybe Lexi. No, Lexi did not do anything, so it's probably Nart who will be the first of the bunch to do a lap on this beautiful circuit, of course. The banking on the last corner, third 14. As Nart goes fast with 1:10.08. Hello Snowy, welcome to the stream. Fellow commentator, of course, of VGPR. As Hellraiser is on his lap right now, purple sector 2 for Heli Boy. Of course, Ferrari dominance, but what can he do in the McLaren? He's back in the McLaren seat after absent and sliding through turn 10 on the exit there. To turn 13 we go, that was turn 12, pardon me. Hellraiser now to the banking, last corner, DRS wide open, battery right open, to stay, this is a very good line he takes, and that will be a 109.5, it's 1 second quicker than Abdomen, and that will be the benchmark for the rest of the drivers to beat, as you see something, if there was some debris, but Ruben also on the lap is running on the medium tires. Expect the lap times to be close for the people that have good pace around here. Ruben, purple sector 1 with the medium tires, is a very good sector for him. Ruben also, of course, very good at qualifying, does not have the luck he has in the race, but we can see what he can do. For now, we see that both Astons crossing the line now. We'll see who's the first at Chelsea. 109.3, and then Laxi is a 120. He boarded his lap and will go again. Ruben still on his lap, is not purple on the second sector. It's going a little bit deep, looked like in turn 10. Ruben. Will be it for the medium runner. And we see Alfie doing a very good lap, going up to P2. Alfie also in practice, he did a 108.8, and that was a very good lap for him. I think the time will drop down to 4:10. Maybe we'll see a 108. Hellraiser is cutting a little bit. Sharker is cutting the brake boards, so Ruben and Hellraiser will not be happy about that. But if you need to make way, you need to make way on this tight, tricky circuit for our friend. Don't know if he's on the lap right now. We can look with the Delta. Looks like he is. quickly right the board. Spartan sliding through the turn 8 and turn 7. The medium speed corners. Sliding all over the place. He does not have the grip with these tires, and I think this lap will be abandoned. He's not gaining any time. So it's very high, very slow sector 2 compared to some other drivers who win the 49s. Low, but he was in the 496. He has a McLaren behind him, but I think he will not. He will move out the way. If you look, yeah, there's probably Sharker. Or is it Hellraiser? We don't know. I think it's Sharker. Look. No, it's Hellraiser. Hellraiser actually on an improvement, and Hellraiser will improve 1.5 tenths, just a little bit behind Charleston. His championship rival. We don't know what will happen. Of course, G-Lane, of course, also Dutchy. I'm quickly going to ask if. Quickly going to ask at the end. What the fuck? Right, so Joppe is eating, so he will join us shortly. Bo Sauer is in the bottom, of course, just like in real life, except Nico Hulkenberg is a GOAT! So that's something we should all address. Actually going up to P3. The top 3 is separated, yeah, just by half tenth, so that's very good to see. Right. G1 has joined, but he cannot take control of his car. I've asked him if he can do that. But we'll see what will happen right now. I think this is a little bit better than you have a little bit better delta. But yeah, Ruben really needs to improve a bunch. His medium lap was not good enough. So Charleston on the outlap right now. We're watching with the Swiss driver, of course, your championship leader, and has dominated the season so far. He's not getting off the podium a singular time, and it looks like we're gonna see some Verstappen dominance from the Aston Martin. Beautiful driver, of course. That's shown that he had the pace in Zandvoort, of course. The last season, he showed he had the pace. Battled with Mivko. It was a rainy race, and of course, he led most of it until, of course, the safety car came out, and that ruined his chances to win the race. And eventually, it dropped him back to the midfield. And Joppe won the Dutch Grand Prix as a Belgian driver. Actually won as Jacob and Lexi at the collision. Later gave Jacob a penalty. But of course, it's beautiful to see Alexi improving just 1/1000th of a second. So this is really just a little bit of a bunker lap. Maybe try to improve just a little bit, see the benchmark, but goes deep in turn 13. That probably loses him at 10. And I think he will abort the lap, and Charles will go back into the pit lane. It was not the lap for him, but remember, short track, he could probably gain more time. Right. I will quickly show a driver how to do this. So quickly I will be on mute, so we are. Is in, and another Dutch driver is Michael, ladies and gentlemen. So we see some couple Alfies also on the lap right now, but it's beautiful to see that the top 5 is separate by 2/10, and then the rest kind of chilling. But hey, that's what happens sometimes. So G1 is of course also now I'll quickly grab a little track map that always helps me guide with the corner names and with the turn. What turns that CJ goes off the grass, but we'll ride on board with Hellraiser going through turn 3, the banked corner, of course. There are many banked corners on this track, especially turn 3 and turn 14. There is a limit of how banked a corner can be actually for I think it was around 2%. But the banking in Zandvoort reaches up to 14%. Hellraiser touching the gravel, you could hear it on the stream. But yeah, Zandvoort, of course, this will be one of the last years. So we'll see the Dutch Grand Prix with one more year of Holland, and then it's gone, and we'll not see the Dutch Grand Prix return for I think a very long time. It was planned that the Dutch Grand Prix will be swapping place with Belgium, but Hellraiser did not had a lot of oversteer on the exit of turn 12. And that will ruin his lap, and he will probably go in the pit lane, and we'll try another Sharker. No, not an improvement of that much. And we'll see what will happen to both Sharkers sliding a little bit. Alfie, of course, also line up. We see, I think it's Gele 8 or Appelen. Either of the two going off as wider line for Shark. It's smartest to go, because as we see somebody improve a little bit, I think there was Gele 8, of course. Gele 8 going up to P6. Very good lap from him. What looked like a slide. But Lexi was personal P1 with a 1:09.310. Again, it's half attempt. On top of this, of course, a very tricky track to gain time in there. I think, yeah, it's a lot of fast corners, especially sector 2. After sector 1, the first bank is just flat out at 7th gear, and then the next one's also flat out if you have the right setup and you downshift to 6th gear. And then it's just a lot of little break zones, little corners that are so hard to nail. But if you nail them, then you win all around 2/10 in that corner. Now this corner, turn 3, almost everyone locking up there. It's almost impossible not to lock a real wheel in there. You have to be turning and braking at the same time, but you have to brake hard so you don't go too deep. But the funny part is, in real life, they take the higher line so you can carry more speed up to the back, the little straight there. But in the F1 games, it's better to take a lower line. I don't know what happened, but I don't know what it is. But if you watch real life F1, you know that a lot of people go in turn 3 higher up. But normally that is not the case. As Lexi is Charles is improving with almost 1.5 tenths, and this will be a good lap for him. Try to beat Steam, and it will set a good benchmark. We see yellow flags, and I think that Joppe has joined as well. We'll have the time to do one lap. I probably will have to put it in the pit, as both Mercedes are both 11 and 12. I've not paying attention too much to the time. Farfetch P8, and Charlester has lost almost all his time. But 1,000 between his and his teammates. The Aston Martin war has begun again, ladies and gentlemen. Hellraiser is also cooking right now. Is 1 tenth up. Is Perp into the middle sector, right on board with Hellraiser. But maybe no, I thought he had a little slipstream of Fryerfan ahead of him. He had a little bit of a slipstream, but went a little bit off the line. But he did not improve. He lost almost all the time on the straight. I think the reason is that he used too much battery, and that will also cost him a chalker. Sliding all over the place, not his weekend. So far, Gele very good driver, of course, for this level 5, and that car had touched some grass. You could see it with how dirty it is. Also Joe, another Dutchie, of course, on the grid. I've miscounted it by far. We have one. We have 2 people from Belgium. They're currently sitting at the bottom 2. We have I think 4 Dutchies on the grid right now. We have a Frenchman, we have a Swiss, we have an Austrian, we have a couple of Brits, and an Irish, and 2 people from Belgium. Very nice grid split up, of course. Move tier 1 is just basically Sweden and Dutch. You don't see anything else. Maybe the occasional Brit as a tier 2 driver, but yeah. Of course, we have some other drivers who have not raced ever since again. IC has stopped racing, is now a full-time team principal. Jacob, of course, still on all gen, but will return soon in October, we hope. Charco also now in the pit lane with Alfie on the lap right now. He's purple sector 1. He's gained a lot of time. This is good to see for the Ferrari man, of course. Alfredo himself. He's not tasted pole position yet. And it would be good to taste maybe pole in this season for him. Of course, hasn't been driving that much, of course, as we saw him drive in season 1. Now maybe that was prime Alfie, of course, battling with Timo and with Steffi boy. Steffi is not here, but Alfie's flying right now. He's 2 tenths up on this Delta, and that will be enough to push that car onto provisional P1. It goes going deep a little bit at turn 13. Overtake battery on and just stay as close to the line as possible. Don't go too wide of the banking, and that will be it for Alfie. And a 9.2 will be the new PB that they need to beat. Alfredo goes professional P1 in the Ferrari. And maybe we'll see. Maybe we don't see a 108. We don't know. Personally, I did a 108.5 as my personal best time after doing some practice more. Of course, here one didn't go through with 2 less drivers. Alfie retired from the session. Happy with the lap. And that will be it. And now the rest of the drivers will hunt it down. Gelanes will go again for a lap. Ruben, of course, also out. Has done some impressive qualifying laps, getting P3 in his home GP in Silverstone. Sadly, did not score any good points due to disconnection. Probably would have gotten a podium. Thriven also on a lap right now. But this is very beautiful to see. Gele ain't also starting a lap. But I think we'll watch on board with the Sauer driver real quick. A little bit of a gravel stop. A little bit wide. And we see Ferrari fan has spun in the same place as Oscar Piastri and Ricciardo at their collision in 23. And Ferrari fan is done for qualifying. I think that front wing is done. And he needs to get out of the way of coming traffic. Yeah, and he has front wing damage, and Ferrari fan's qualifying will be over and out. I was just running aboard with Ruben, but it's over and out. CJ also now starting his final lap. Hellraiser is out and will start his final lap, but he has traffic behind him. I think that is that is Rick who's behind him, but he will have the dirty end. I think that's Abdomen who will also be starting his final lap. This will be a very chaotic lap as we speak right now. As Charker, I don't know what he's doing in the first sector, and we see a yellow flag in sector. That is the Haas of Nard, who has standing still, probably letting some traffic through. Charker going in 3rd gear is not the smartest thing. 4th gear is the optimal gear, but if you want to turn him, 3rd gear is not too shabby, of course. Charker is still on the TC. We can see yellow sector 3 is still Nard. Abdomen is done. Abdomen is retired. We don't know where he is. It's probably a crash, but Charker is purple in the 2nd sector. He has a little bit of traffic ahead of him. That is Ferrari fan that is ahead of him. And maybe he can get a little bit of slipstream from Ferrari fan. We don't know what is doing, but it looks like it is. Jalen is retired from the session. It is provisional P7. Ferrari fan not getting out of the way, giving Charker a very beautiful slipstream, but that could be penalized. Charker does not improve and will stay P6. Ferrari fan also done with his qualifying. Joppe is done as well. But we're running aboard with Hellraiser. He's 2 tenths up on his Delta. Ruben retired. This provisional P5. A little bit in the graph, I think, for Hellraiser. But right now, will Hellraiser crush Alfie's heart and will steal pole position away from the Brit? It's again an Austrian driver trying to break hearts of the British. Charlester's done, will not improve, will probably be best P2. Hellraiser across the line now. Hellraiser with a 109.0 will take pole position anyway, but Charlester is also improving, but is not gaining too much time. Charlester will need another half a tenth at least to gain that time, but he has more battery going down to turn 13. Will take it cleanly. Lexi, the Frenchman, has not tasted pole since Qatar and will love to have another pole position to his name. And to the line he goes. Will it be the Frenchman? It will not be the Frenchman with 300ths of a second. Purple in the last sector, but it's not enough for him. As the rest is done, but Hellraiser will taste another pole position. It's back-to-back poles for the Austrian driver. And he will gladly take it going into the race with 36 laps around Zandvoort. Sorry for the commentary on the back a little bit. But Ruben is, and we see the qualifying results right here. We see the Aston Martin did not get the 1-2 aspect. The Alfie with a very beautiful qualifying lap is P3. We see also the other two Brits in P5 and P6. Gele ain't the first Dutchman of the GP is P7, and the other Dutch is not having good time. Fryvan, of course, spinning in a Ferrari in that turn 3. But yeah, just like Carlos Sainz did in 21. The first Dutch GP we had. We see the cars. You can see the cars on the right hand of the grid. I just realized it's kind of hilarious. But we'll see what will happen. Going into the race. 36 laps around Zandvoort's dry race, sadly. But not. But I hoped it would have been a wet race, because that's always fun to watch. I'm not even gonna try to name the corners, because its names are so... Only corner name I can, like, literally name out of my head is Tarzanbocht. That's turn 1. Yeah. But yeah. "14 corners, and we'll see what will happen as we are waiting for the drivers. I don't see the little countdown. I hope I don't have a bug with the fast lap and everything. That will be really annoying if I have that again and with penalties. Then you just need to look at what happens. But they're on the grid, and we are ready to go racing. And the green lights are on for the formation lap. Joppe, an incredible P8 actually, and we see the other Dutchman, Fryvan in P9, and Joe and Rick in P11 and 12. They hope that they can taste some good old points. Leclerc in the Mercedes is beating his teammate. Leclerc, of course, being a very valid driver in the first 2 seasons, sadly dropped off. But it may be due to the lack of content, also maybe moving from wheel to controller. We don't know what happened. Now Razor setting the pace quite heavily already on the formation lap, trying to warm these tires. Of course, these turns are very good to warm the tires, very long turns where the tires will be screaming for your names. Pit stops will probably be a medium hard strategy. Watch out for punches territory around the end of the race if people go in too early in the pit lane. Happened to me when I did it for a practice race. I had a puncher in literally the last corner of the race. But we will see what will happen to the other drivers. If we see punchers, we don't know if people push too much. Harris are backing up the field a little bit, trying to get the rest to follow more. This rest is going through the arena of this. This is a beautiful section, of course. Actually, to sit there, nice to see the cars drive around. When I went to the Dutch 3P in last year, I was sitting in the stands right over there. And it was a beautiful fact to see. Sadly, Lando Norris won the Dutch Grand Prix last year. But we'll see who will win the Dutch 3P next week. Of course, as a Dutchman, I'm hoping Verstappen will dominate it. Hellraiser is overshooting his pit box a lot. So that will get Lexi a very good advantage. Alfie also disqueued. Yeah, we'll see who else will... Yeah, and we see Nart also as JC will be the last to park their car. As we now wait for the 5 red lights to go on. For the Dutch Grand Prix, it's 5 red lights on. And it's lights out and away we go for the Dutch Grand Prix. Lexi getting a very good start. Looks like no Hellraiser gets back, like a little bit contact in the background. We see a Mercedes gaining places down, going down the inside of the Williams, and that is contact made with the Gele ain't Leclerc. Leclerc trying to do a dive bomb on the inside, and looks like Leclerc has gained 2 places at the start though. Atman has lost. Joppe has a terrible start, dropping from P8 down to P12. We see Joe also not having a steady start. Fryvan moving up places in the background. We'll try to watch what happens. It's almost 3 wide going through the bank straight there, and we see now Fryvan gaining place. Atman's falling back a little bit on the grass. We see in the background. We see JC not gaining places. Joe dropping back. Joppe dropped back the most. Had the worst start of the lot. And we see there Gele 1 trying to go down the outside of Leclerc. This is now the inside corner. The inside line you have here for turn number 9, for turn number 10. Excuse me. Right now going down to turn 11. This is a heartbreaker, so but if you have the inside line, could be good right now. But Gele will stay ahead. We see there Leclerc going past, trying to go on the inside of Fryvan. And this will not happen. Fryvan have the inside line, and Leclerc and Fryvan make contact. Fryvan completely forgetting, and Leclerc should have probably backed off there. And this will, as Hellraiser will set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, of course, being the first to cross the line. Hellraiser already having a 6-10 gap between legs. It's very difficult to pull away Alfie. Not too shabby, and CJ gaining 1 place of Ruben at the start of the race. Ruben on the hard tires will probably have more pace around lap 10. But for now, this is what it is with Fryven and Leclerc. Not having the best start, Leclerc. Start to repeat was chaos, but beautiful racing. We saw only the position between Fryven and Leclerc. Not the best. We see there Joppe around the outside. He tried to go with Joe, and now Nard will try to go past him around the inside of the next corner. That is not possible, mate. You have to back off there. See JC behind them, trying to look for a move as Leclerc. Fryven is already caught up, but Leclerc, yeah, after that incident is already, after a very good start, it's now down to P15 again. Down to last place. Hellraiser go through turn 13. And we're gonna see what the Frenchman can do. Lexi, Hellraiser trying to do everything to break the toe. Well, it looks like Lexi has the pace. Lexi will try to go around the outside of the Tarzanbocht. And we see, can he do it? And he can do it. But Hellraiser will not give this fight up as it stands. But right now, he will have to give it up. Yes, it will be Hellraiser maybe with the switchback on the Frenchman. He will try to do it, and he will do it. Hellraiser is still going wheel to wheel with the Frenchman. Austria versus the French, just like in the good old days in the 1800s. And it looks like Austria will win this fight, unlike that where Napoleon absolutely demolished the French. But the French and Napoleon had the downfall as well. So we'll see what will happen with this beautiful fight. Alfie also joining that fight, can catch up Charleston 1 second behind, will not have DRS, but CJ is already knocking on the rear wing of that Aston Martin. Beautiful camera angle we have here, of course. As Ruben is a little bit in no man's land, as we have the and William sandwich between both SFC Fryven getting places again. Let's move past Nart and Jay-Z. It's an art very good move from the Haas, and that is something you shouldn't do. That was a very, very dangerous diving from him. The Irish driver trying to get past the Dutchman. That did not work out, but Hellraiser again needs to defend against the Frenchman. Alfie trying to go down the inside. Maybe tries to profit from this fight. And right now it looks like we all see the Williams, I think Rick getting a place on one of the Williamses. And it's Abdomen fighting it back, going into turn 1 the Tarzanbocht. CJ now in the back middle, but Charleston is in the DRS range of the Ferrari ahead of him. Alfie, a little bit of grass for him, but the dirty is so hard on this track. Your tires will overheat and the tire will be dangerous high. And right now it's still, will be the top. Alfie fighting the pace very good. He's consistent as we see Fryven also moving past his fellow countrymen going into turn 9. Fryven having the pace. And that comeback will be on for the Dutchman who got P2 last season I should say, not last year, it was last game, but last season. If it was a year ago, then we would still be in the old days of the WWRL. Which clearly does not exist anymore, and I see also Abdomen and Rick Geel1 in our own league right now. Private moving past Joppe, at least trying to move past the Belgian driver, and Fryven does it very nicely. Joppe is on the hard, so he will not give that much of a fight, and we'll hope to precipitate. Oh, we see there Joe in the background going wide in turn number 3, and the front wing end plate is gone of the Alpine driver. That's the right end plate gone, and that will lose him a lot of downforce. And Joe right now will have a very difficult race to drive with half a front wing on this downforce dependent track. You see there Leclerc getting a physical type for multiple track limits. Very difficult to get at least one warning here, in my opinion. Like the only places you can get one is the last corner, and maybe turn 8 if you go wide there. But in my opinion, or maybe the entry here, but it's just a few. But that's right. But the car is not too clean. Right now Hellraiser around the outside you go. Rick also having a 3-second time penalty. Just spoken about it. And that is purple sector 1, but sector 3 for Hellraiser going a little bit deep in turn 1. Lexi cannot follow in pursuit. Oh, we see Rick. Rick had a moment. Rick has spun and Rick will go into the pit lane. And immediately, same with Joe, I think it was front wing damage and Rick will get a 10-second time penalty. This is not the race he wants to have. Oi. There's not the race you want to have as the Dutchman. You will have to pit again because you cannot make it on the end with 30 laps on the hard tires. Not a good race for 2 Dutchmen. But Fryvan also not having the best race, but he's now he's closing in on Geleen. But there will be no points for them for now, unless they make a good comeback drive, of course. There's going to be a lot of train action here. See there, ooh, yellow, and that's Nart! Nart has spun in turn number 9. Probably got wide on the turn 8 curb. Right now, it's Hellraiser still leading the way, but it will be the Frenchman again. Hunting him down, going into turn 1, and I think Laxi will make it an easy pass. And that's the case. And Alfie 6 tenths behind, at a little bit of moment, because previously he was a lot closer to the rest of the field. But I will quickly look at who are on which tire. We see, pardon me, we see Ruben, Geleen, Joppe, Leclerc, and Nart all on the hard tires. Rick, of course, also, but he boxed for a new set of tires. So that will be with Abnum having the best start of the rest. Oh, we see there, Alfie! Alfie going wide on the turn 8 curb. I said it previously, Alfie not losing his podium. And right now it's 1.2 between Charlester and Hellraiser. So Charles does not have DRS, but probably will gain sometime trying to push in that DRS range. Right now it's still the but Chelsea does not. Oh, Laxi! Oh, I said it. Don't bitch on the curb already. And Laxi, his race is over and now. The Frenchman is done. And this is what I said. That curb is so dangerous. And Rick retired from the session as well. Rick is done with session. Forgetting it. Retired on tractor, so it could be punished. Lack after turn 10. And Hellraiser is now 1.4 second gap between him and Charlester. Stark is behind him. That will be a McLaren 1-3. As it stands right now, very good points for them. As one of my mates sends a very beautiful snap. Very sad to see for the Frenchman. Hunting down Hellraiser, but sadly not enough. And makes a mistake that will cost him his potential chances of winning the Grand Prix. The thing is, he has to at least drive with that front wing till he pits. He has so much understeer. Joppe just breezes past him up to P9. Fryvan also in P8. Not too shabby of comeback after being last. Rick also retired. Done for him. I think he should stay to pro clubs, to be honest. To be fair, he wasn't that good either there. Love you, Rick. Love you. Yeah, Hellraiser now out of the arrest range of his rival, and if he can keep this pace up, he will not have another bother of the rest of the race unless he gets undercutted. Geleen moves past Abnum. We see Laxi pitting. He thought he could hang it out, but he just couldn't. Yeah, Laxi boxing. I'm quite busy on my phone actually for now. So sorry if I'm not commenting that much, but there are some personal stuff I need to adjust in my life. I cannot always be commentating, which is sad to see, but sometimes life is life. Quickly watch Alfie still in the fight for his podium. Stark of course fighting for his P2. See Alfie round the outside he goes of the Aston Martin, and McLaren will have a 1-2 in Zandvoort as it stands. Something we are praying not to see in real life, but in the game it's allowed. But the thing is, will Hellraiser help his teammate with DRS? That's the question we are wondering, of course. But we'll see. For now, it's quite quiet on the track. Some battles, but Laxi, I hope can have a good comeback. But it will be a very, difficult drive for him. As I quickly sent Hellraiser, you're leading Grand Prix, to leader of the Grand Prix, a snap, and he's leading, and that's a good boy. So yeah. Sometimes it's nice to just screw around with some people. You get me? As Chelsea's losing pace and is out of DRS range of Charker. But does he have it? He still has it for this for the long straight. So that's good for him, but he was almost out of range. So Charker's pushing like crazy right now. Trying to get Charles out of DRS range. They're both around the same defensive battery. Hellraiser just casually as we see K-Lane and Abdomen fighting again, going round to turn 1. And we see Fryfan pitting on lap 11, getting rid of those medium compound tires and going on fresh hard tires. And I hope he can make it to the end of the race. But I've not paid attention that much to the pit stop window. But the thing is, I don't know if he can make it that far. That's still a lot. That's 26 laps on the hards. It's a long time. Like in the previous game, you could do it, no problem. What the hell? Charker just literally halfway went through the fucking ground there. Can Charles just again? Is he out of DRS range? We'll watch, but I don't know. He is not. He has DRS. As Charker has tried to push him out of it again. It looks like Hellraiser is also pushing himself a little bit more. But giving a team at the toe. Charles is not too far behind and gained almost 5/10 on that straight alone. So you can see how powerful DRS is and the battery. But the problem is the slipstream that needs to be fixed. Because the dirt you could feed it from so far back. And that's the problem with this game. The previous game, in my opinion, as we see Abden pitting as well, pitting also going through the medium. So it will be 2-stopper for Abdomen. JJ moves up to P9 and Joppe is behind Leclerc. Both are hard runs, so they will continue. I think to around as Joppe is missing a little bit of a front wing. So, yeah. G-Lane now up into P2 as Rumen is his side. So we see there Charles made a mistake, I think, and there goes the Alfie goes past the Swiss driver, and that is something we are hoping for Alfie, and I agree with you, Jacob. Glad to see. I hope you can make a comeback, mate. But yeah, it looks like Charles made a mistake. Charles not having that best of pace, but they're both going into the pit lane. And we see don't get a 10-second time penalty. Alfie, yeah, a little bit of a bump from both of them, but that's... We see who is quicker out of the pit lane. It looked like it will be Chalster. Chalster as the quicker pit, which is pit stop, which is very fun to see because Alfie went ahead of in the pit, so Alfie will be like, what the fuck happened there? But yeah, now the hard runners were up in the places except for a couple of people. And there are ahead of Jay-Z, who is on the medium tires. Abdomen on the mediums as well, but he just pitted for Newman, so he will be doing a 2-stopper. He will be going to the hards or to the soft tires. Nard still needs to pit as well. Strifen is trying to catch up. Salaxi after his spun in yeah. Also, Jacob, mate, you can also maybe go to the lap where Lexi absolutely binned it. And you could make a TikTok about it, just like a simple TikTok. What's going on in the race? So yeah, Hellraiser is now pushing 2.2 seconds off his teammate, and McLaren look very darn. But Charker does the undercut, and Charker will go to the pit lane. They were all sprinting out like it's just something. Getting this shot here, nicely done. San is of course a very small pit lane. As Caleb will move up to P3 and Charker. Will he be ahead of Leclerc? That is the question. I think he will not be ahead of Leclerc, but he will have the inside line. No, Charker is not ahead of Leclerc and will have to cope with his dirty air and his old tires. As CJ and JJ get time for their speeding in the pit lane. Remember guys, 60 kph limit, just like in Silverstone, which we had last week. As Joppe also goes to the pit lane. Very early pit stop for him on the hard tires. So he will do a 2-stopper as well. Hope he will have more grip then. He's ahead of JC, which is good to see, but Chopper will have to do some more pace as Joe as well. After his spin in turn 3 and chasing his win, Lexi up to P11 will probably score some points as the rest of the field will box for new tires, and hopefully he can get still some good points for Aston Martin, as Aston Martin is still leading championship by quite a mile, so it will not be difficult. Hellraiser Alfie is a purple sector 2 now with his fresh tires. He's behind Charker. Charker after pitting needs to warm those hard tires up. But Alfie's on the mediums again. Yeah, Alfie will be doing a 2-stopper. So that's why Alfie is so fast. Hellraiser will go into the pit lane now. He's already out of his pit box. You see in the background, you see this teammate and Alfie coming. Alfie is clear of him. But what will happen to Alfie? Fast lap and down to turn we go. He's ahead of Leclerc and he will be ahead of Alfie. But no, he will not be ahead of Leclerc. It will be close. Yes, he is ahead of Leclerc. Jesus Christ, Charles is now behind CJ. But yeah, they are both on the hard tires, but Alfie's on the mediums again. So Alfie will have to go box again. Yeah, he did go for, Alfie did went for the medium tires. So we have, Hellraiser is now provisionally your leader. Alfie in P2, but he has to make it on the pit stop because he started on the mediums again. So that will be it. We see the. I'm just gonna do this so it's a little bit better. Leclerc is ahead of them, but Leclerc holding them up on his old tires. But Alfie hoping he can get past him. And that's what he wants. That Alfie right now on the back of Leclerc. Hellraiser kind of slowing them down the pack a little bit. Alfie down the inside, and that's a beautiful overtake done by Alfie. Not enough fighting for Leclerc in it. So yeah, the rest will be going down. Oh shit, I need to disable this. So Hellraiser, now Hellraiser has Alfie on fresh medium tires behind him, but is it worth fighting for? That's the problem. Alfie's so goddamn fast on the mediums, and he will try. No, he will not go for a lunge down the inside of Hellraiser, his former driver. And Scalia, and we see Leclerc going deep, and CJ will try to push past, but he cannot. Leclerc positioning his car very beautifully, so nobody can get past him. But Leclerc makes a little bit mistake, goes a little bit deep, and Charker tries to go back for the switchback, but it does not succeed. Oh. So Alfie still behind him, but Gele 8 is, Gele is closing up on the Ruben. Ruben now positioning your leader. FPC Joe going in the pit lane for his, I think, first stop of the race. Or second? No, second stop because he went in for a front wing change. As you see, Hellraiser, But the thing is, Alfie has such more grip, and I think Hellraiser will not fight it going down in turn 11. He will not. See Charles getting past Leclerc making vital mistakes and is now overtaken by both CJ and the McLaren of and the Aston Martin of Charles. Sorry. See Hellraiser. I don't know if he will try to do an overtake. It's probably not the smartest choice to fight Alfie right now. If he has that much overspeed, no, he will stay behind the Ferrari and will probably take some more notice time. So Alfie will probably start to pull away a little bit with his fresher tires, with his new mediums, compared to Hellraiser's on his hard. But remember, Alfredo will have to do another pit stop. But the tire wear for the rest of the field will be absolutely horrendous at the end of the race. We'll see what will happen. If a safety car comes, then they're all probably gonna box. If a safety car comes now, it will be very viable for a top 2. But also the thing is, they will probably not make it to the end with the mediums. Like if they started on the mediums, then of course it would have been a very good strategy. But yeah, it's just so difficult to go so long with these tires. He's always going a little bit wide with the dirty air he has from Alfie ahead of him. Charker is behind him still. It's also not too far behind. He's 8/10 back of Charker. So you see 4 cars that are both having shown good pace. Of course, McLaren not being the 2 best teams so far in Tier 2. Still leading the constructors in Tier 1. Well, that's also a wonder how long the Lexi getting past. Nard, FPC Nard actually has he made contact with Lexi? We do not see him. Actually, yeah, he has lost the front wing. But did he make contact with Lexi? We'll probably see that in the VIA report if there is one. Hellraiser passed Alfie again. 5.5 seconds between him and Gele 8. Gele 8 gaining on Ruben, and now is almost in the range of Ruben. So that will also be a little bit fight we're gonna have here for track position if they both decide to pit, and they both probably will drop down quite significantly because the pit stop here will be it will not be the slowest pit stop, but it will be a long one. As we see, they will probably drop down behind Fryvan and ahead of Lexi. Well, that is the thing, but they will have to fresher tires. That's also something that we're gonna watch out for. We see Nard going in the pit lane, changing his front wing. Not the best rates of the Haas driver. Both of them being Irish, of course. Not showing up for this race. So that's something sad to see. But yeah, sometimes some Skate 8 is in almost the range of Ruben. But the question is, when will they both pit? Ruben will pit now. There's 18 laps on the mediums for him, or it will be a two-stopper as Hellraiser will move up to P2 and Ruben will drop back down, probably behind Fryvan. Hellraiser just letting Alfie past. On the inside he goes. It's just a DRS game. And this is very good to see. It's very annoying being in the third place because you're not gaining any time on the rest. So will probably drop back. I think Fryvan will come now. Fryvan will overtake Ruben, I think, or is Ruben already ahead? Nope, Fryvan has overtaken Ruben and is now ahead of the Sauber, but Ruben has fresh medium tires, so he will probably be ahead of Fryvan in 2 laps. So yeah, the gap now down to 4 seconds. Gele leading the Grand Prix, leading his home Grand Prix. That must be a good feeling, of course. I know that feeling as well. Leading here multiple times. I've won here 3 times, which is a beautiful feeling. One time was very funny because I actually won on literally the straight on the last lap because my teammate didn't have any fuel left, and I was like pushing the whole time, so I was definitely faster in. But eventually I won, so not too bad. It was a quite fun victory actually. Skater will go into the box now. Pit lane for them, and that will make Alfie your Grand Prix leader. But right now it looks like Hellraiser doesn't even have DRS anymore, and it's gonna be free ride battle almost. And just almost going on the back of the Charker. Yeah, this is a beautiful fight to see, but the Hellraiser didn't have DRS there. I wonder if he just didn't open it or it was a mistake. Hayden will drop back down. I think Leclerc also pitting. They will both try to make it at the end with the medium tires. They both will probably drop back. Lexi will be ahead, but Lexi will not make it to the end of these tires. Will probably have to pit again after his spin. So Alfie going a little bit wide and going into turn 7. Now going to turn 9. I cannot see shit. Why is the brightness so low? So we quickly grab the standings, of course, of the bridges after the British Grand Prix. We see Hellraiser is up in P3. I don't want the commercial. No, you live sometimes, am I right? Precisely. So Alfie leading the way, and Jacob cannot believe it. Yes, Alfie is leading a Grand Prix again. We were speaking about it actually literally yesterday that Alfie has not won a Grand Prix yet, and this might maybe be his best shot at winning a Grand Prix. That's going some valuable points for Ferrari. So Hellraiser of course left after 2 races for the prancing horse and went down to the papaya with both of them in the chrome livery, of course. Beautiful to watch. It's kind of nice that they actually do that, like with. That's actually that's a good feature that they added that. I'm not gonna be lying. Steffi is P4 and is not driven. He's driven in himself, but yeah, he was in the fight for the championship, but has not raced in Austria and in oh, we see yellow, and that's Joe, and the Dutchman has spun in the same place where Lexi has lost it. I think we see him there, and I think it will be another front wing change. It will be another front wing change for Joe. Nard moving up to P13 and he's on the soft tire, so there will be probably another pit stop for him. So Alfie still leading the way, but those meters should be driving. Alfie beating it on the curb, and that's bye-bye the lead for Alfie. Almost collecting Charles with him, and that will be in the pit lane. That will probably be another set of mediums gone, and Alfie, after doing such a good job, has beat hard tires for him. And Alfie, after absolutely that is so sad to see, as Alfie had potential chance to win the Grand Prix, maybe even get a podium, but right now his hopes are dashed after beaching it on the curbs. As right now I think, oh, we see another yellow flag, and who is that? Sector 1 yellow flag. That's I think a glitch, or was it? No, see, yeah. And he's now behind Joppe. Alfie now out of the points. Right now this will be the top 3 fighting as Aptum is in P4 actually. But Ruben is behind him on fresh tires, down the inside he goes. And I think that's the overtake done. Aptum going a little bit wide, they're lagging a little bit. But there's nothing wrong with that. Ruben going for a good overtake and moving up as Gele Eend is behind his teammates. But Aptum has to box again. So we're watching what he will do. I think he will let him pass. And he does. Team orders in the Williams garage. A little bit of a glitch there. With turn 11. I noticed that a lot during this Grand Prix. As Joe is being lapped, by the way. But if that keeps happening, Zanton will probably not be returning on the calendar. Because if it's that glitchy there, that's not good. Leclerc on the inside of Lexi. Lexi not having the tires anymore, and around the outside he goes. A beautiful overtake from Leclerc on that outside turn 20. You don't see that often. As Aptum will go into the pit lane for his final pit stop on the hard tires. As we see Hellraiser leading the way for the second weekend in a row. Not that dominant as in Silverstone, but still a very good drive. Aptum will drop back down to P11 and will have to do some work. Try to catch up with some other drivers. Leclerc taking over some good points for Mercedes. Still an Aston Martin 1-2 in the championship, but after this race, if Hellraiser wins, he will get 25 points and will be almost at he will be at 89 points and will surpass Lexi, as Lexi only scored 4 points. It will be the second leading driver on the championship. Will score some good points, of course, for McLaren, who are struggling in the constructors, down in P6. But the fight with Sauber is still on, and also for Williams as Aston Martin are 208 points in the championship, with Fry being behind them with 139. So, and the McLaren will gain a lot of good points from this Grand Prix, so that will be very good for them. As we see Ruben and Gele Eend fighting it down in turn 1. Ruben around the outside, he goes with the Dutchman, and there is bye-bye to P4 for Gele Eend. He will not gaining that place back anytime soon. Maybe we don't know what he can do right now. I'm very impressed with his driving. I'm just gonna say that. Very good, a very nice driver, of course, and then lovely to have new people come to the league as well. If you're still interested in joining, places are always open. Tier 2 is at the moment is pretty damn full, but if you're a quick driver, we're also always looking for new drivers into Tier 1. So if you're welcome, if you want to, you're always welcome to come down. As far as Alfie catching up a little bit behind them. Lexi, see yellow in sector 2. That is Joe. Oh, Lexi! I just missed it. I was paying attention on the minimap, trying to go to Joe. Alexi going wide in turn 7. And I think it's time to box, my friend. I think it's time to get rid of those hard compound tires. Go to the mediums and make it to the end of the race with another yellow flag. And I think it's just Joe driving slowly. Yep, Joe moving out of the way for blue flags. So that's goodly done. That's nicely done for him. Not the best race for the Dutchman. We see Gele Eend move past Ruben again. So this will be a fight we're going to see for the remainder of the Grand Prix, as long as both people do not mistake. As Fryfan is closing up behind them. That's just you, Jacob. I'm streaming in the 1080 ADP 60 FPS, so that's probably just you, not me. So maybe turn up your fucking graphics. That's not my fault. Hellraiser now still behind CJ, still behind his teammate. Charles is still behind them, but the thing is, they will not close up. It's just two. The DRS is so powerful, it's almost impossible to overtake in the train here. That's something I still wish that F125 had, that it was easier to overtake. On previous games it was easy to follow people. No dirty air, it was very easy to follow. That's something that's kind of bothered me in this game as well. It's literally so impossible to overtake. You're just stuck in the train. It's still easy to follow some people. It's just a little bit harder than tire wear. So insane. As we see again, Ruben getting past his rival. Purple last second probably dumped his battery down the line drive and lost a little bit of time. Actually down in P10. But I think ooh, Joppe will pit. Joppe will pit again for his final pit stop. And Abdomen down the inside of Lexi. Ooh, contact between them. A little bit of ghosting enabled. And almost a collision there between the two, but Atman will stay ahead of the Frenchman. Now he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Oh, see a little bit of a slide on the exit of turn 12. So it's now 9 p.m. for me at least. It's yellow and it's Joe. Joe has spun again. He's on soft tires, so. But I think the lead will change of the Grand Prix. It will not. Hellraiser will keep his lead. If we're looking at strategy, CJ will probably hand Hellraiser the win, due to he being the closest in the championship. Or will it be no team orders for the McLaren drivers? Oh, we see a little bit of tap of Charles there on the rear. Oh, and JC Games has spun and the exit of turn 10 on the straight actually. Just as Joppe overtook him. Yeah, there's a front wing gone. And I think that will be a pit stop for him and there will be soft tires to the end of the Grand Prix. And we see Joe going with the pit lane again. I think there's pit stop number 5 already for him. I'm quickly going to check. Yeah, pit stop number 4 it will be. Bro, it's not Genshin Button. I think JC will also pit. Yes, JC will also pit right now. But remember, they will get 1 point for the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Hellraiser 7 tenths ahead of his teammate. Charles is not getting the time he needs. But yeah, that's so difficult. You can push all you want, but it's just not helping when you just this type of DRS turn. We see another yellow flag. That might actually be Joe again. No, that is not Joe. That's I think. Who the hell is that? That's yeah, I think it was Gele8. Gele8, yeah, Gele8 at the moment. Gele8 has spun on the extra third 13 probably, and his front wing is gone. Oh yeah, and Fryvan moves up to P5, and that's another bad weekend for another Dutchman on the grid. Yeah, the understeer's crazy, hitting the barrier, going to turn 3, and this will ruin his Grand Prix weekend. He had such good pace, but right now it looks like it's all over him. It will have to box, and he will probably drop back behind Lexi even. So we'll see what the understeer is just no there. Yeah, such sad to see. Whole front wing gone, and there goes Jay-Z unlapping himself. Such sad to see. So we go back with the front. There's nothing actually too impressive going on. Roman getting a P4 finish if he just keeps his head cool. Not pinning again as well. Sad to see for Gele8 though. Alfie's behind him now. Yeah, they'll overtake him. Of course, as struggles with no front wing can be difficult on this game. If you're missing like a little bit of an end plate, it doesn't matter that much. But if you're missing almost your right side, it's not that good. And there it goes. Alfie on the main straight will overtake Gele8 as he will go into the pit lane. And Leclerc also will move up 1 place, trying to maybe catch up to Alfie. And Fry 5-6, after what happened to both of them, still very impressive. Yeah, after moving up into P8. And that car needs to go to the washing. I think Lexi will overtake him, maybe even Joppe. So Gele8 will maybe not even score any points there. But I think it's soft tires for the car. So there will be 7 more push laps for him. Try to get into the points again. Maybe take 1.8 of your previous Grand Prix race winners. Hellraiser actually has pushed away our DRS rate for Chalker a little bit. But Chalker still has DRS, which is lucky for him. But that could have ended horribly for McLaren. If Chalker, yeah, Hellraiser slowing down a little bit. Yeah, that will help Chalker to keep DRS. And that could have ended very badly. We see yellow there, and that's Joe. And Leclerc has a 3-6 top build again for track limit. So Leclerc will drop back down to P8 after this Grand Prix is finished. Gele8 is already behind Joppe, 1.3 seconds we see on the delta. This is still the fight we have here. McLaren 1-2, 2 best mates driving in the same team. And next week it will be in Monza. We'll see. Oh, Chuck, a little bit of the slide going down to turn 9. Hellraiser, of course, being one of the favorite drivers, favorite members, of course, in VGPR. And finally getting his pace he deserves, the praise he deserves. See Lexi pitting in lap 30 and will go to the soft tires, and Lexi will not score any points here. Hellraiser is sliding on around as hard tires are losing grip. There are 6 laps to go. Let's pray for him that the Austrian will not make any mistake. I'm tired. Yeah. Joe spun, and at the safety car possible time, as you see, Joe has crashed in the turn 14, and this will completely change the race, just like we did last season. And this is something you're not expecting. They will all go into the pit lane. The front 3 are kind of fucked right now. I hope they can make it to the pits, as otherwise that will be very. The Lexi is actually ahead of them. Will be lapped. No, Lexi. Oh no, it was a VSC. My bad. I thought it was a focal safety car, but it was not. That's still very good. Lexi cutting the grass actually, but he needs to get out of the way. Ruben pitted for fresh set of softs. We see Thrive and Leclerc also pitting for fresh sets. So Alvio is up to P4. I thought if it was a 4th course safety car, that would have been chased the race, but it wasn't. So that way Lexi getting physical time for multiple track limits. I think Lexi just given up on this race in general, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what Lexi is doing right now, but yeah. But right now, yellow flag is sector 3, and Lexi has retired from the session. No more French. You see him there in the pit lane. Over and out for Lexi. So Razor team is leading the way after that brief safety car scare. Nothing happened to them. We have 3 DNFs on this Dutch Grand Prix. And right now, we have 5 laps to go until our winner will be crowned as Helene Moesbal Joppe on the fresh soft tires, moving up to P9. So still 2 points in a pocket for the Dutchman. Maybe even a fast lap point. We don't know. Let's see, we'll hunt down Leclerc, but Leclerc's on fresh soft, so that will be difficult to try to catch up. Slightly goes now, no fast lap for Helene at the moment. Maybe I can try to... Yeah. Alfie still has fast of 11.8. We'll see what will happen there. It's probably you, Jacob, because for me it's good quality. I can probably look at the stream right now. Yeah, wait. Oh yeah, wait a minute. I can kind of agree with you. It's not that bad, that good of quality. Even though it's still in 180p. Yeah, I don't know what that is, mates. I have it on advanced as well. It's still not the best quality. I don't know if some rumor going fast 111.1, that will be 1 fast lap point from the Grand Prix. I'm not downloading anything, so it shouldn't be that. It's probably just my Wi-Fi not being the best at this point. Sad to see, but sometimes it happens with stream quality not being the. But it's mostly with stream quality not being the best. This is the fact. That's a factors. Okay, going in the pit lane. Change tires again. Leclerc is retired actually. So no more Leclerc. So that will be 4 DNFs. And we have 3 laps to go to the end of the race. And we'll see what will happen. I cannot see the tire of the drivers. Yeah, I can literally see what you mean. It's so pixely right now. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Just me in the game or just me in general with the live stream? For me, like, it's beautiful quality. I'm fucking here in the 4K, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But the stream, it looks like it's shot at 180p. I'm extremely sorry about the stream. But this is also the first time I saw this happen. It may also be because my Wi-Fi is not too good at the moment. I have no clue. But I'm sorry if this hurts your eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it off because this hurts my eyes. Yeah, I have no clue why it's so bad, Jacob. And sometimes it happens. Back in the day when early on the stream quality was actually good. Yeah, early on the stream quality was actually pretty decent. Like around qualifying, but right now it's just horrendous. like mid-racer was really horrendous. I'm completely sorry, but we go on to 2 more laps to go. And we're gonna stop talking about Stream Job, a 10-8 fast lap point for him for now. Oh, wait a minute! Jalster is pitting, and yeah, I just realized Jalster was out of the DRS, so now it will be McLaren fight for the win. Jalster gave up and will go to the fast lap. He has the pit window behind him, so he will go for that extra point. So he will keep his podium streak going. But right now, it will be 2 McLarens hunting down for the victory. Will it be Hellraiser or will it be Charker? Charker, of course, DNFing in his home Grand Prix. Hellraiser getting a win in his home Grand Prix and winning at the home turf of Charker and other British drivers in Tier 2. But right now, it will be them two, and we see Ruben and Charker, Ruben and Alfie fighting both. All teammates of each other, of course, in the Williams, but Ruben on the fresh soft tires is moving past Alfie with ease. But right now, our main focus is, of course, of these two. It will be 2 straights, 4 DRS zones to go, and then we can crown a winner. 28 corners to go, then it's all over and out. No, 15 corners to go. But right now it will be CJ. It's 6/10 gap, but is it enough? We're right on board with him right now. Telemetry on battery. He's not using the overtake button. He is now, but it is enough for now to stay ahead. And this will. What the hell? I actually did that. Right now we see Hellraiser still keeping the lead. As Alfie still behind his teammate, actually behind Ruben going on the main straight too. So we will see Hellraiser pushing, trying to get that car out of the DRS range. Charker also pushing that car. This will be the fight we're gonna have here. You see Alfie getting past Ruben on the main straight. You see it on the mini map. Down to turn 1 they will go. I will quickly watch them as Alfie will probably, but Ruben will not give this up without the fight, and as it will be, and oh, big contact! Both drivers in the wall, Alfie in the wall, and this will be a hand, and this will be something Alfie will probably be doing to him in real life. But right now, the main focus is on these two, 5/10 between them. But can Charker take victory away of his teammate, yellow sector 1, that is JC, who has spun around. Right now, Charker on the final lap of this Grand Prix, the final straight. Will it be Charker? Will it be Hellraiser? I think it will be Hellraiser. Gap is just too short, and Hellraiser will win the Dutch Grand Prix with his teammate coming on P2 as a McLaren 1-2. What a beautiful sight to see, but what a chaos. Alright, now Chalster right now will probably get the fastest lap points. So I got the DM real quick, and there goes Chalster. 10-6, fast lap point for him. Ruben, after his collision, will come P4, but I think a penalty will be given out, so he will probably drop back down to P6, maybe even P7. Right now, Fryfan across the line, of course, with Abdomen. It's also done, so Fryfan will be P5. As Gele after the shocking spin, sadly. You see there, JC and Narts will be P10. The Chopper will be the last to cross the line. And this will be the Dutch Grand Prix from yours truly. The first McLaren 1-2, I think, in the league. Tier 1 they certainly didn't have one. They had one in qualifying. And in Tier 2 they didn't have the best. They had some victories, but nope. 1-2, but a very good job from the Papaya team. Onto the podium we go now. Hellraiser again, the winner. 3 race victories in a row for the Austrian driver. And again, this is a very calm podium. We're probably going to see a lot. Chalster again, P3. And yeah. Right now, it will be McLaren on the rise. And it will be a very beautiful hunt for in the championship. They will probably surpass a couple of teams, maybe even Ferrari. No, they will not pass Ferrari because they are way behind, 60 points. As the margin not scoring that much of a points, only 16 points for them in this race right now. And now this will be the race results. We'll see Hellraiser in P1 after starting a pole. Chark having a very good comeback as starting P6 is now P2. Charlester P3. We see Ruben in P4, but we'll probably get a penalty after this collision with Alvis. Alf will probably move up to P4 and Ruben will move down to P7. Aptwin is P6 for now, and 5 and same yellow Gelaint after having a very good race. Sadly, spinning and causing him probably maybe even the first podium in VGPR, and also Joppe in P9 and Nart in P10 and JC in P11 will not score any points. And for DNS after all drivers, but Lexi not scoring any points for Aston Martin will be difficult, but they are still very much clear of Ferrari. But McLaren also opened up the hunt for the Constructor Championship in Turn 2. But we'll be back with y'all next week in Monza. So we'll see y'all then.